I think that's the issue because that's the only way you could explain something like that. Because if you understand that people grow and evolve, the only thing that would limit you from understanding that she can grow and evolve is that you don't see her as human. You see her as like something that you can manipulate.
I know what you look like. I'm a fan. Cool. Yeah. But you don't have to force it on us every time.
But when you try to finesse and like cover something up and all that, now that makes me angry. Yeah. Now you get the angry black woman.
The work that Kim is getting credit for, again, black women have been doing that work.
I feel like it's kind of like it was an agree to disagree moment.
Okay.
Like this is what happened, but this is what it is.
Like we grew up knowing that we're beautiful. I think the world is just now catching on to, oh well, yeah, beauty can look like that.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Millennial Club, and y'all have a very special episode today. Look, I have some of the most remarkable women in one room.
That's sweet.
Y'all, listen,
thank you.
That's very sweet.
I feel very privileged that y'all made it on my show. We're going to make a few things clear on this episode.
Oh,
okay.
This is my show.
It's
like, nah, but what I want to talk about, 2019 real quick. After that, I want to kind of jump into the conversation of some of the things that we talked about prior to us taping. So what's some of the lessons learned for some of y'all? Biggest lessons learned this year?
Who's going to start?
I'll start. I would say my biggest lesson learned is to not dive into things too quickly. I did a lot of transitional things this year, and I feel like next year I need to learn how to take my time with stuff. So that's my biggest lesson.
Okay.
I would say mine is give yourself more credit. And you can, like, I'm my own biggest critic, and so like I'm at the point where like nobody can tell me anything that I haven't told myself. So with that, just do what you do, boo, and like give yourself more credit.
Yeah.
What about you, Gab?
Learning how to trust my own decisions.
Wow.
Stop second guessing myself.
That's a good one.
Yeah, like once I make a decision, okay, this is what I want. And then I've got to start leaving other people's opinions out because it's what I need, not what everybody else needs.
Right.
And then my second lesson is my finances. Like I've really honed in on that this year and not just frivolously spending. So I think those kind of go hand in hand.
I commend you. Check you out.
That's a big,
right?
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Still learning.
Right.
It's a big struggle for me, but we ain't gonna talk about it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Liv.
I think my biggest lesson was really like choosing my happiness over like people's expectations of me. Like people have this certain image they think that I am, but then there's this person that I want to be and a career path I want to take, and so it's just getting past thinking about other people's
That's a good
critiques of me.
That's good, y'all.
What's yours, Stan?
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm about to beat that. I should have went first.
Because it's your show.
Edit that out.
I should have got him the mug.
Right. Sips tea.
He's the new me. You gonna be the new me.
But I think one of the biggest lessons learned this year was to be uncomfortable. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Okay. That's something that I've struggled with for many years, and I finally have come to terms with just being in a space where it's kind of like a challenge for me. You know what I mean? But it's all good. I'm finally settling in. I'm letting go and letting God for the first time. So I know I kind of said that on my last episode, but I just want everybody to kind of like just settle in and just being uncomfortable. I think that's a big thing, and just being able to make that transition into the new you. And being the best version of yourself. Just be uncomfortable. Try new things. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing a podcast this year. Like I'm networking with people, and I'm getting to know new personalities, and I've always been a person that just stuck with one group. And so now I'm challenging myself to get to know new people, you know what I mean? Putting myself in different situations, whether it be in the workplace or outside the workplace, it don't matter. So I think that's just one thing that I can say that I've learned in 2019. 2019 was It wasn't no hug.
A year.
So it
was not the gift. It was
Yeah,
not.
no.
And I think what inspired this episode was like some of the things that happened this year, like the whole human trafficking epidemic. I mean, do y'all want to expound on that? Because that's why I had this all women episode. I feel like I have to cater to y'all. You know what I mean? Like, the black woman is very important to the black men in our community. So, I mean, y'all go ahead now. I can't. Allegedly. So speak on it. Speak on it then.
I think, I went to school with Alexis. I go to Clark Atlanta. I've met her a few times. Even though it's like not directly related to trafficking, I think that her death and the things that transpired around her death really highlight how the community thinks about black women. Almost like we're disposable. So it brings into, first I want to say it's like over 65,000 black women that go missing every year. Wow. And we don't ever hear about it. It's like, like, oh, it's the little black girl that's been snatched, and we don't ever hear anything else about it. I think that our community doesn't do a good job of rallying behind black women when something happens to them. Whether it be they're murdered or they're missing or they're mistreated, I don't think we do a good job. And it's always black women that come to the forefront when it's something wrong with anyone, not just black men, with children, with the elderly. It's always black women that lead the charge in that. So I think that this year I'm glad that there's more attention being called to it, because Atlanta is a hub of human trafficking because of the interstate, because of the airport. But I think it's not anything new. I guess I'm glad that awareness has been brought to it, but like, now what do we do? Are you checking your friends that have very toxic, really slick comments to say about women? Are you checking them, when they just out of pocket? Because I think that's the other conversation that we don't like to have. It makes people uncomfortable. Like you hear somebody say something, you're like, oh, that's like really fucked up that you said, but we just be quiet. No, you need to talk. You need to say something, because that means that person has been thinking about it. They, they might have even done some fucked up, things to a black woman. We need to be able to check them, and then that's where it stops. So, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and then just being vigilant on your own. Yes. I know I move around in the world a lot by myself, solo, like to work, to shop. So it's just checking your surroundings. It's being aware. Get off your phone. Take the AirPods out. Have your keys ready. I don't even stop at the gas station late.
Yeah,
I don't just taking those extra precautions, and then letting someone know where you're at at all times, even if it's, hey, I'm just running to the grocery store. I send a text, or I can drop a location in a few seconds. At least someone will know the last place I've been if something were to happen. But and then also learning how to defend yourself. Yeah, I see so many young women kind of walk around without a sense of security or a sense of urgency, and people look at that. Or if you look lost, if you're looking around, so always look like you know where you're going, even if you don't know. So it's really just the way you carry yourself. I think a lot of women could teach that to the younger women, and then make sure that that's a daily practice. And it kind of sucks that we have to move that way. And men kind of have the liberty of just kind of being, and we have to always kind of think 10 steps ahead. But now I try not to even leave work after dark.
I even switch up my routines. Me living here by myself, I just come in a different way, leave out a different way. Going to the grocery store, I don't go to the grocery store at certain times. If I don't have it, I don't have it until tomorrow. You said stopping to get gas, I'll be empty until it's light outside. So it does suck that we do have to move in this way, but there are ways that we can continue to be aware. So.
And I also think it's not just looking out for ourselves, it's looking out for others. A couple years ago, I actually lost one of my employees to human trafficking. And we saw the signs. We talked about the signs to each other as co-workers, but we didn't say anything. We didn't report anything. And so just being aware and actually going above and beyond to help someone, even if they don't want the help, because they may be saying they don't want the help because so-and-so may be right out there and you don't even know who so-and-so is. And so I think just reporting stuff when you see it, making sure that all your bases are covered, because I do feel like we could have prevented that situation from happening.
And I feel like there's a lot, even with the Anaya Blanchard that happened recently, and the guy actually saw her being forced into her own car.
Wow.
And his rebuttal when he was asked about it was that his wife or partner told him stay out of it, and this woman's life could have been saved had he said something. Instantly called the police and say, hey, I saw something unusual. You know, he could have taken a picture of the tag, and all of that would have not resulted in her death.
That's something that's very common within our community. Just like
mind your business.
Mind your business. You ain't see nothing because everybody's looking out for self.
And then it's like you said, like with that young lady, it was in her own vehicle, and everybody keeps saying like these white vans. I'm like, they pick up people in different type of vehicles.
Back seat.
Yes.
They do to your car.
I'm like, so it's not just a white utility van. Like, I
right.
hate that narrative. Like, oh, look out for white vans.
Right.
No. It's any vehicle. It could be your vehicle. They could put you in your own trunk and be
Wow.
on their way.
Yeah.
So I don't like that. Like,
But I think that's the first step in just, you know, trying to break that cycle, just us having this conversation, because a lot of us feel uncomfortable talking about it. You know, not only do we feel uncomfortable talking about it, but I just feel like we're not taking the necessary precautions. Like, we know about it, but a lot of people still haven't changed anything yet. We don't buy the necessary things like mace. You know, mace goes a long way.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like getting a firearm, and I think that's what we
I was
need
about
to
to say
do.
Georgia is you can carry it.
It's a carry state. So why on, you know, I think it's time for women to just start, you know, being able to indulge in just carrying a firearm. I don't see why not. I know it makes y'all feel a little uncomfortable, but I think that goes a long way, because some people ain't gonna try y'all. You know what I mean? If y'all have it on y'all, ain't nobody gonna try y'all. And that's where it starts.
then also not being scared to call the police. I used to be a 911 dispatcher before I was a teacher. And
bless your
it's
soul.
always not
Right?
okay.
They be asking 101 questions.
Sometimes even if it is, hey, this looks suspicious, that's what your tax dollars pay for. So we can send the officer over to the parking lot if it looks suspicious. You don't always have to leave your name in. Well, your number is tracked, but you don't always have to leave your name. But just saying, hey, this kind of looks out of place could be helpful. Like, it could have saved that young lady's life. And just because your friend or your spouse always says stay out of it, there's
that's
There
crazy.
has to be some type of intuition.
That's
Right.
And he had it.
He had
ignored
it.
Right.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
crazy. I
and
feel bad, you know.
that's unfortunate. But sometimes, you know, the cause could be frivolous, but then another time it could actually be life-threatening. And
Exactly.
I know that man feels bad.
Yeah.
And the lady who spoke to him and told him to mind his business, I know she was like, I would feel terrible.
Right.
So.
Boy, I'm gonna drink to that. That's
So do you feel threatened when you're out walking around?
honestly, I don't. You know what I mean? That's what's, you know, sad, because you guys always have to be, you know, like head on a swivel.
I'm literally always scared if I'm by myself.
Yeah, me too.
I think, and it's a big thing for us too. It's a concern for us too, because dudes out here getting kidnapped as well. But it's just like, we know that it's like a different,
Less likely.
it's less likely for it not to happen to us. But y'all, you know, it's a little bit more dangerous for y'all. So, you know.
Do you check on your friends, like if y'all are out and it's like a group of y'all?
Definitely.
And you say, hey, did you make it home?
Definitely.
Okay, because I've heard guys like,
That's
no,
a
we don't
big
do
thing.
that.
Yeah.
And I'm
No, you
like,
talking about
shouldn't
the
do
fellas.
that.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
guys.
the fellas. No, if a group of guys were out hanging out, like your friends, are you gonna check
In
and
the
be like,
group chat
hey, did
that
you
y'all
get
been talking shit in
All
all
the
day.
time.
No.
Y'all
Chat. Who told
We
y'all
know
about
about
that?
the chat.
Who told y'all
We know
about
about
the
the
group
group chat.
Yeah, I'm talking about with your
Yo,
guy
they
friends,
breaking
not
the
a
code,
female.
bro. Put the cab on. Who breaking the code, bro?
We know about it.
Breaking the code. Nah,
But you're not checking on them.
I definitely check on my friends. Like, that's a big thing
Do
for
you
us.
say, hey, I made it home?
Got to.
Okay,
We'll be like
okay.
home.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
you know,
Home,
like
this is
home.
there.
Right.
You know, and I think just it's not as big a thing for us, but a lot of us, we share our locations.
Yeah.
And if it's our brothers, like, you know, dudes that we consider to be our brothers,
Yeah.
we share our location. Y'all don't want nobody keep tabs on y'all.
That is something I
share
did
my
differently.
location with
I do
somebody.
share my
You
location.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like y'all should have that one home girl y'all
Yeah.
share your location with,
Yeah.
and that'll go a long way. I mean, that's what the iPhones are for, so we need to take advantage of that.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So,
We gotta take that cup from you.
Really? I
I
gave you
like the
the
whole
wrong
decor.
one.
I like that whole the vibe in, but I really want to, and it, not, you know, not to shy away from that conversation, because that's a very important topic. But it kind of reminded me of the whole T.I. and Tiny Red Table talk. You know, an uncomfortable conversation. So T.I. made some remarks. Do any of y'all want to talk about it? Any of y'all see the interview first?
I didn't see the interview, but his his comment that he made initially about going to the doctor with his daughter disturbed me in a lot of different ways.
Okay.
I think the wider conversation is talking about how hip hop has made black men misogynistic. And so that is what like T.I. is feeding into. Your daughter's not your property. She's a human being. You cannot surveillance your daughter forever. Like the whole comment was just out of line. And anybody who agrees with it is disgusting. But I think the wider conversation is misogyny that black men have. A woman is not your property. Your mom, your daughter, your wife. He treats Tiny as if she's a hoe in the street. And that's as blunt as I'm gonna be, because I feel like he doesn't respect their marriage. I don't know, like, what if y'all have agreements outside of the marriage, the way that he if you understand that you're on a public platform, the way that he continuously disrespects her on a public platform, to me just signals that like you have no respect for her. Go ahead.
And I'm sorry to disturb you, but before we go on to that, because I do want to talk about the whole, relationship that they have between them within their marriage. What I want to say is, I feel like just T.I. had a moment in regards to
He always got moments.
Always has a moment.
What moment? What other moment did he have?
He just really.
I don't agree with it. I genuinely feel like I can look at him in the eye. Well, I can look in that interview and take his. I could sense the sincerity in what he's saying. It's just like, yo, it was a joke. I didn't mean it that way. And I see his relationships with his kids, but it was just.
But if you listen to the original podcast,
okay,
Lady Like Us, with Miguel's girlfriend, I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Okay.
I listened to the podcast.
This is on Expeditiously. He did it
on... No. He did it on
podcast?
someone else's show.
Oh,
Not on his show.
It's called Ladies Like Us.
Okay.
And it wasn't, like, it was to the point where, like, they had to come out and apologize. And, like, yes, they may have laughed after it, but I don't think he said it in a joking way. Like, when I listened to it, it wasn't like, oh, ha, 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 that's funny. It was like let me rewind that. What did he just say? But I do think he's a hypocrite, because you can't do that for her, but then your sons, you're letting run around, do whatever they want to do.
Black men tend to do that. You don't ever see that? Have you guys seen that before? All men tend to do that. And I think that's one thing that we need to stop. But the biggest issue within that whole T.I. situation was, he canceled. And I hate that. You know what I mean? Because T.I. has done so much for the black community and bringing awareness to some of the unfair things that have happened to black men, black women, in regards to politics. You don't think so? What you got to say about that, Jay?
I have my feelings about him meddling in political issues just because of just like my own opinion. I think that T.I. does not speak for all of the black community. I will say that he does a good job, I guess, like bringing awareness to the fact that black people need to politically participate in things. Now, what he stands for and the messages that he sends, I think is very problematic. Yeah, I'm gonna leave. I just leave that there. I just think that my biggest thing with him was him hopping on like the Keisha Lance. I really just have a problem with her whole administration and just like her image. Just because of the interaction that we've had with her at the AUC. I think that just all skin folk ain't kin folk, and we have to remember that as black people. There are black people that put very oppressive views on other black people, and that's where I feel like T.I. and some of the stuff that he said like perpetuate. So we have to just be really careful about like what we subscribe to and like what we deem as like influential and like what we deem as monumental, I guess.
I see what you're saying.
Because some of the stuff that and I'm not saying, everyone is perfect, but we also just have to be really careful who we put up on a pedestal, like who we look at as, influential.
We do tend to do that.
Right.
And also, would he have apologized if
Had it not been
we didn't
right.
take such a big
if we
deal
didn't,
about
right?
it?
If we didn't,
Like, would he have
checkmate
thought
him,
it was wrong?
I see what you're saying. That doesn't
But
make
also,
sense.
I think, although maybe it didn't come out or he didn't articulate it in a great way on the original podcast, I think deep down inside him as a father, he wants to protect his daughter.
Exactly.
And I think that most men who are in their daughter's lives, they want to protect not only the daughters, but their sons as well. Yeah. And I do think he was, saying, I'm looking out for my daughter in any type of way. That's how I kind of took it, but it was a little extreme.
It was extreme.
Because you could kind of say, okay, yeah, I'm going to the doctor to check my daughter, but then like some parents have trackers on their kids' cars and phones.
That's a bit much.
That's an invasion of privacy as well. But you got to kind of give your children that leeway to kind of venture out as well, but like check in. And that's the same with like women and their sexuality. You have to allow them to grow and blossom into the one that they want to be. And then you can still give them some guidance, but you have to let them go out and explore as well. So I think he came honestly from a genuine father's place.
It just wasn't in good taste for him to say that. Correct. I think that was just out of pocket. I definitely don't agree with what he said, but I just know it comes from a good place. I would like to think that, he doesn't mean it in the way where he's like, yo, I'm going to check my daughter every time we go to the doctor. I think that's out of pocket.
And then also during Deja's life, like she's just now 18. Like he spent some years in jail. So, sometimes men and fathers try to make up for time that they missed. So, like, oh, well, I'm going to do this now because I'm here now. Like, I'm going to be protective now because I couldn't protect her then. And I think it comes from a genuine place, but it's not harnessed in the right way. It's not healthy. It's not healthy.
To kind of like, to get away from that, how did you guys feel about the portion between him and Tiny? How do you feel like the marriage? How do you guys feel about their relationship within their marriage?
What I got from Tiny on the second part of the interview is that she felt like she lost herself. And I feel bad for her. I feel bad that she lost herself in a relationship, in a marriage, to please another man. Yeah. And I feel like from what I've heard or what I've read earlier in T.I.'s career when he was first, trying to make it as a rapper, she funded a lot of what...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, of what he did and how to get on and how to navigate the music world, because she had already been in it with Escape and very popular. Yeah. So I feel like that he didn't honor her in the proper way. So, she said that she still wanted to dabble in music, not just as an artist, but in other realms. And he could have helped her up the same way she helped him up.
So let me say this.
So I feel bad for her.
Now I want to give the other women in the room a chance to take it. So do you guys want to expand on that before
I feel like from what I watched, like James spoke on a little bit earlier, he feels entitled. So there were a lot of moments where he spoke over her and didn't even let her get her point across. Yeah. And I just feel like where they are, like what's been portrayed in the media, that's been the issue. So like as far as their relationship. Yeah. So I feel like it's kind of like it was an agree to disagree moment. Okay. Like this is what happened, but this is what it is. So
I feel like they have a lot of unresolved issues. Yeah. And just watching it was very cringy. You know what I mean? I feel like it's uncomfortable for him to be able to see his wife get into a different space because he's so used to being with her for however many years. I think it's like 18, 20, I don't know off the top of my head, but that was hard for me to see. Because, naturally, everybody around you want to see them grow. You know what I mean? Just for him to be like, well, I wasn't used to that. You know what I mean? And when I see him, I'm like, damn, Tip. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right,
because
you are able to grow, but she can't.
She can't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I try to empathize with them because it's like, how could Tiny allow that for so many years? You know what I mean? Because a man is going to get away with whatever you allow him to get away with at the end of the day. So that my thing is, and she wanted to talk, right? I'm lying, but what I'm saying is though, Tiny is gonna like resent him. It's gonna get to a point where they both blow up on each other because she wants him to understand, but he's not coming around to understand. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a thing for them to disagree, but that's a monumental thing within a relationship. Hey, listen, while you were gone, I figured I want to do this in this business realm. I want to do this. I want to do this. And you're like, bro, this ain't going down. And that's a big thing within your relationship. So I
think so often men don't see women as human. And I think
I ain't finna go there.
And I think that's the issue because that's the only way you could explain something like that. Because if you understand that people grow and evolve, the only thing that would limit you from understanding that she can grow and evolve is that you don't see her as human. You see her as like as like something that you can manipulate, some part of your property. And as girls, we're taught to be submissive. Like, I don't want to push and say like all black women are, but in a lot of ways, like I've heard black men say, I don't want to deal with black women because they're not submissive, or I don't want to deal with this kind of woman because they're submissive. So a good woman is a submissive woman. So at this point, Tiny saying that she wants to grow and do other things, she's not being submissive to Tip. So that is throwing off. Y'all know I have really shallow, very little fragile egos. So there's something that that doesn't sit well with your ego, then all of a sudden it's a problem. So her shifting what she wants to do for some reason disrupted his ego. He doesn't see her. He's just like he sees his daughter as property. He sees his wife as property. So she's not allowed to grow. I think that's an uncomfortable conversation that we have to sit with too.
I think in 2017 when she filed for divorce, I think she should have just went through it. Went through with it.
And just
and not advocate for.
As a man, I think from him making that move on cheating, because I guess he had sex with several other women while they were apart. I think Tip would have never gone backward if he knew that he wasn't gonna lose 50 of what he brought to the table. Like, if he knows she wasn't gonna take half, he probably would have went about his life. You know what I mean? But I feel like there's some sincerity in what he was saying. Like, I can't build that connection because men don't realize that till they all fucking around. Like, damn, bro. Like, what else does this girl besides sex has to offer? You feel what I'm saying? But when you think about your wife, the person that you've grown to love, like, she know me better. She knows some of my habits. She knows how I operate. You know what I mean? She knows the business. So I think that's what So I don't want to say that and just say it with confidence, but I do want to say that I think he does genuinely love her, but it took for him to go through 7 women. Unfortunately.
Why does it always have to take all that? Why can't you see it from the start? Exactly. Why does it take stepping out, testing, and like, never mind. Okay,
because I think it was a thing just on the back of his mind, like, I've been with my wife for like 18, 20 years.
And that's exactly what he said.
Yeah, I've been with my wife for this long. But sometimes you want to just get out there and try. Women do the same thing. Be hurt like
y'all will be hurt.
I don't understand that.
Crying in a corner, just the world would just blow up because y'all have the just shallowest little egos, and we gotta stroke it all the time.
I think that's a double standard that it's kind of crazy, but at the same time, like I said, men always try to turn around when it's too late. But just fortunately for T.I., she gave him another chance. You know what I mean? Because it could have went left, and she could have been like, "No, it's over." Y'all know how y'all do.
For anybody else, it would have
right.
Yeah.
I think they both thought about what they was about to lose and was like, "All right,
okay.
Yeah."
We'll
the funniest thing? I'm getting off topic, but it's crazy. I was at a comedy show the other day, and the guy was talking about. I guess the girl left her man. So the guy, he knew that she was big on Christianity. He went up to the house like, "Babe, I'm a Christian now. I'm gonna give my life to God." And she was like, "Good. I like men that give their life to God." But she said, "But James, you done." I was like,
Good.
And it was funny in the moment, but I thought about it. I'm like, yo, you have to be careful on how you treat your woman because when y'all done, ain't no second chance in this shit. It'll take a lot, but it just hurts. It hurts to know that, you know what I mean? Because men will give y'all 1,000 chances too.
What?
Really? Where is the proof?
Alright, my bad, y'all.
Yeah, I'm like,
because y'all know when y'all cheat, it's a little, but
it's a little.
It's what?
It's more.
We ain't talking about it right now. Okay, moving on.
Y'all should see the cameraman right there. Y'all should see the cameraman. But okay, let's talk about Summer Walker for a little bit. And talk about mental health. I feel like the response she got from the black community was very frustrating for me because she canceled her tour because she was having social anxiety. Liv, how you feel about that?
I mean, I feel like she did the right thing. Honestly, because I'm just a person who has social anxiety too, and I'm not like an empath like her where like I feed off energy and like it really affects me, but I do still at the same time feed off energy, and like if there's a negative vibe around, I'm gonna turn negative. Or a positive vibe around, I'm gonna turn positive.
Okay.
So like I understand where she's coming from, and I do believe if she really was struggling, and like she said, like this her first and last album, her first and last tour.
She called the tour the first and last tour.
Yeah, because she just realized that this industry wasn't what she wanted it to be for her. Like, yes, she loves writing music. Yes, she loves doing what she does. But at the same time, if it's going to affect you in a negative way, that's something I had to learn. Like, I love making clothes. I love styling people. But I don't like interacting with people like that.
I see what you're saying. I mean,
your happiness comes first. If what she thought she loved is not making her happy, she has to adjust that. And so I do think songwriting makes her happy. I don't think the famous part of it makes her happy. So she can switch her script to go somewhere else to still fulfill that happiness.
Right. And people will still support that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I feel like a lot of the feedback was selfishness. Like, let her do her. If she wants to write music, let her write music. If she wants to make an album, drop it, and not do a tour, let her do that. And who are we to say, like, she can't, like, why is she not going on tour?
Right.
It's a lot of artists
fans tend to do that.
Yeah.
Like, look how the fans be treating Rihanna.
Right.
Like,
Where is the music?
But Rihanna didn't even drop an album.
She's saving the
We ain't making money off makeup. We ain't got time.
And then she getting all my cash.
All my everything.
I
I
like
think
it.
also too, like, we're just really hypocritical. Like, so we say, you know, oh, we need to take care of our mental health and
Facts.
blah, blah, blah. But an artist come out and like is begging for people to like chill, and we like, no, girl, you was a stripper and you need to perform and like,
and this is what
you
you signed
lying
up for.
right.
But it's not. It's not what she signed up for.
You
She
don't
just
know.
happened to pop off.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And you don't know what else is happening behind the scenes. Like, you don't know what
Right.
you don't know what
You're
people
right.
are telling
You're
her in
right.
the music industry. Like, we don't know the backstory of it. So I think it was just really hypocritical. And people bringing up like her past and her being a dancer to justify like why she needs to still be. I was like, y'all are some fucked up people. Like, that has nothing to do with like what she's doing now. So let the girl.
But if you really paid attention, I think and I don't want to kind of like bring us into the maze, but I think it came from the black community because we don't really like take mental health seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like when they hear social anxiety, girl, we don't got no social anxiety.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And
It's
it's
a
a real
real
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
So that's what was frustrating for me because, you know, it's very unfortunate for something that you love and you want to pursue and you try so hard to get to, because I think she started out as like a cleaning lady. She started as a cleaning lady. She started at McDonald's. I think she worked at McDonald's and she danced. You know what I mean? Just to come so far along and you be like, yo, this is not what I.
And she just want to enjoy her peace.
Right. You know what I mean?
But I also think that someone on her team should be getting her that professional help.
Right.
Because if she loves writing and she loves music, I feel like if
And
she
she's
has
good at
that
it.
professional support, like for her mental state and everything, I feel like she could find a balance. But I've not heard of her getting any professional help, or
And even like
her coaches or her team around her to help her.
Or even her having like these meet and greets. If you don't like interacting with
right.
people,
Don't
why
leave
you gotta meet
folks.
and greet?
Right. And who
Why
told
you
you to do that?
Exactly.
Did your manager tell you to do that?
Right.
Knowing that you have social
Exactly.
anxiety.
And you're over here telling people, I can't touch you.
Right.
Yeah.
What?
But we trying to get aside.
You not seen that?
Yeah, no, for real. She
No,
said
that's
she
why
can
I
no
said
longer
she's an
give
empath.
hugs.
She can't give hugs because like
She felt like
her,
there's a transfer of energy.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
So
if your artist, if you know your artist has social anxiety, you would get them help if you want the money to continue to come in.
And
you definitely wouldn't say do no meet and greet.
Right.
That's true.
Because
The ticket price.
Right.
Like you
Let's get this bag.
Right. Get this bag. That was very frustrating, but to move forward.
Okay, so you just mentioned half naked pictures, right?
Yes,
And you
ma'am.
mentioned Lizzo. So Lizzo having her butt out is not okay, but Rihanna having her breast out is okay.
Or Beyonce having her booty
And
out.
your camera guy is shaking his head right now.
Right.
It's okay.
But listen.
Right.
So
Come
I get it.
Let's
Yes.
hear it.
I get
You about
it.
to take my
There's
point. I was about to say
a
this.
time and a
The
place.
place.
When
Yes.
Rihanna does it, she's at a photo shoot for Savage X Fenty.
Facts.
Point taken.
Beyonce's at a photo shoot for Ivy Park. She was at a basketball
Lakers
game.
game.
If she did it at a photo shoot, I wouldn't be mad at Lizzo.
But Beyonce and Rihanna come and perform in very risque
Because that's their
outfits
job.
as well.
And I'm not
So
mad
it's not Lizzo
when
now?
Oh, she was at the Lakers game.
But when Lizzo performs and she has on a risque outfit, cool.
Cool. That's what we said.
When you in the audience,
Okay, so
It was a
Rihanna
clout
and I don't know, is it Tatiana Taylor? Tiana Taylor. Like they
She's
always
very
have their nipples out on the red carpet. They're not there to perform. They're guests
At
or
a red
presenters.
carpet, not a basketball
Not a
game.
basketball game.
If she
So
did
is
that at a red
that
carpet,
right?
cool.
This is an environment where there's kids.
That's true.
It's kids on the red carpet.
It's kids on Instagram.
Okay.
No, you're right. But I feel like she could have handled it very differently. I feel like she was trying to make a statement, and just the way she did it wasn't a good
What's
taste.
wrong with her trying to make a statement? I think we just need to let the girl live.
So y'all just like
No,
They body
That's
shaming
what I'm
her.
saying.
Was
I
she
just
not?
think-
no,
I
y'all
love
just
her.
like butt cheeks
I like
on
Liz.
certain people,
Right,
and not on
and
other
we
people.
it's
So
say
we
that.
can't even
butt.
say
Say
that.
that.
She ain't
Say
got
that.
You can say that.
if Rihanna did
got a
it too,
butt.
I'd be judging her though. At the same time.
Facts.
Right.
There's somebody
Well,
that's
I'm not saying it wasn't like tasteless, but I'm just saying like it's
I
like
get
Yeah,
what
it's
y'all
a double
trying to
standard.
say.
It's
It
a double
is.
standard.
It is.
it's like, oh well, the side boob's okay on her, but
Right,
her,
but
she should have
she can't do that.
different.
I like Lizzo too,
Yeah.
but I feel like
I mean, they
She
forced
aight.
Lizzo on us,
Yeah,
but okay.
she aight.
that's
Let her live. Just let her live. Just
You
let
ought
her-
to make
the
me
white
laugh,
folks enjoy
bro.
her. That's where she get her bag from.
I can't.
So I feel like if you got
Hey.
clout with the white folks, then that's where you
You
gonna get your
good.
bag at, and that's
But
God honest.
That's
truth.
what's frustrating for me because I feel like it was more of a clout move
Yeah.
to bring attention to yourself. It wasn't for you to make a statement on body shaming and being proud and confident.
Because you've done that. You've done
Yes,
You laid in a
several
bathtub
times.
full of Skittles. We get
Yeah.
it.
Oh
You
shit!
posted a picture with your-
Yeah, we see it.
done a
We
lot.
get
Let
it.
me take these
Wait,
off.
I know what
I
you
know
look
about
like.
that.
I'm a fan. Cool.
Yeah.
But you don't have to force it on us every time.
Exactly. That was crazy. I mean, I'm gonna have to agree
Meg, you can stop it too.
Megan Thee Stallion?
I like Meg.
I like all of
I like
that.
Meg.
I love me
She
some
could
Megan
cover
Thee
it up a little
Stallion.
more. It's
You
always
know.
out. She could cover
Well,
it
her
up.
butt is always
That's a part of her being
She's a
That's a part of
stallion.
her
She's a
being
stallion.
It's wintertime and you still got your butt cheeks out.
That's
I know
fine.
you
that
could.
whole like
Hey,
that
listen.
whole like cowgirl kind of thing. That's like
Facts.
a
I
part
like
of her.
it.
It's
Yeah,
a
that's
part of her
personality that she's
thing.
come up with. But the thing about it is, I understand where Liv come from. So
We not talking
I
about.
agree with
We
both
not about to
sides.
talk
But
about the stallion.
I love.
No,
Meg.
don't get me wrong. I love her.
I
I'm
love
Meg's
her.
biggest fan.
Yeah.
But you tired of seeing her butt cheeks?
I'm just
Oh,
no, I'm
yes.
not tired of seeing it. It's just more like you can't say that for like what you're saying. You can't say that for Lizzo, and but you're not gonna say it for someone
I
like
see what you're
Meg.
saying. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I see what you're
And
saying.
be like, it's cool for Meg to do it. She can come to the basketball game with her ass
That's
out.
right.
Well, I didn't say the
think
basketball game. I just said I wasn't tired of seeing it.
That's what
You know
y'all.
what I'm saying?
That's what y'all was
But
saying.
that's what you're saying. Double standard.
No,
though.
okay, it's like I feel like Meg Thee Stallion. That's just her. That's how she.
That's how she
How
came.
she came
How she
out.
came out.
I
Yeah.
feel like Lizzo has progressively
Right,
gotten more
right,
like you about to get like
about
she
to get all
posted
this.
old
Y'all helping
pictures
all
from the
argument.
Hustlers behind the scene of Hustlers movie.
Oh, with her,
Yeah.
with her,
And
like
the mesh
she
thing.
out, and she out.
And this movie came out a while ago.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot I had these in my phone. Here,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, I remember.
Man, you
that.
forgot
I do
about
remember
them.
that.
Y'all help our argument though.
Yeah.
Y'all helping our argument. Y'all know
No.
that. Yeah.
Do what you want to do.
I
Show
think-
your butt every
Yeah, I
time.
think we just.
But
we
Meg,
just
I
do
love you,
you.
girl.
We love you, Meg. We just
You say this.
Yeah, different women differently depending on their body shape, and I think that's what it is. Like we,
Meg is so unproblematic. That's why I like Meg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Her
She's-
energy is so
her
just
energy.
positive.
I think
love it.
people a lot of times on social media try to start an issue with
Mhm.
Meg. You know what I mean? Like they trying to find something. You know what I mean? But Meg is just so
She's chilling.
unproblematic.
I have
She's
more
cool.
respect for her
Chilling.
listening to her backstory too.
Yeah.
Like if you
Yeah.
listen like how she came up and like kind of the agreement that she had with her mom. She come from like old hip hop. Like I think her mom was a rapper. Like
Yeah.
a Houston
Mhm.
rapper.
She was.
Right. So
Yeah.
you listen
Right.
to her background story, it made me appreciate her
Yeah.
so much more. Because at first I didn't really like her because as another stallion, I was like, I don't know if you meet the requirements for a stallion. I don't know if that's it.
Hey, that's
But
And maybe
as
that's what we
time-
lacking
but-
from Lizzo. We don't know her backstory. I don't know
We need
where
a
she
backstory.
came.
Wow,
We
okay.
don't
We need a
know.
backstory.
Like, why are you like
Maybe.
this now?
It's the antics
Maybe.
that we don't like. We don't like the
Okay,
antics.
maybe that's
It's
it.
the antics.
It's like look at me, look at me,
Yeah.
look at me, look at me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
It definitely feels like that.
Yes.
Instead of producing music, because that's why you're, on the scene. You're like doing,
All right,
you're
y'all.
crowd chasing.
Yeah.
So how do y'all feel about Kim K stepping up?
Okay,
Oh,
woo!
shit,
Can I go first?
can't.
Okay.
I ain't even get to send this out.
She read the topic.
Right? She read the topics.
I have a special place in my heart for the Kardashians because I really don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm working on it. I'm working on
Kim
it.
is my girl.
I love the Kardashians.
So Kim's place in the criminal justice system is really interesting to me because the work that Kim is getting credit for, again, black women have been doing that work way before she even stepped in the picture. So yes, it's good that like she's bringing attention to some of these issues because I feel like if she wasn't saying anything about it, then of course like white people or like other people just wouldn't even care, right? Mm-hmm. But I think too that she needs to do a better job of telling who else worked on the project because she wasn't the only one that worked on Centoya Brown getting out. Mm-hmm. She wasn't the only one. Right, there were two black women lawyers. All of these people that are getting released from prison from lifelong sentences have been the work of black women. Mm-hmm. So I think that if she's going to she's cooperating with these people. She's not like, she didn't like start the initiative first, right? And I think that needs to be clear because so many times, again, black women do stuff and we just like fade into the background. We don't get the notoriety that we're supposed to. And not that we do it for notoriety, but it's good to be known just like, if a black man does something or if Susie Q down the street does something. Like it always pushes us to the side. So that's the Kardashian family is like a study in itself, but I don't necessarily like.
I have mixed feelings about that because we always ask for Caucasian people to use the platform that they have to be able to bring awareness. You know what I mean? And so she's finally doing it, and I feel like maybe it might not be in good taste because she's not bringing awareness to the people that's on the team. But we have to look at it at a point where, like, you know what? For somebody that has a platform like her, she's putting a lot of risk. You know what I mean? Even speaking up. Because a lot of times, like, the people that are in power, they'll look at that and be like, yo, we got to show a girl up. We got to cancel her. You see what I'm saying? So,
they cancel the whole Kardashian family. Because if you cancel Kim, you cancel all of them.
They will. Yeah. They don't have an issue with that. And we've seen it before. You know what I mean? So that's why I can commend her. And I hope, it comes from like a genuine place. That's just the thing for me. I hope it's not because, hey, listen, I'm trying to be in a different light and not just for laying on my stomach. You know what I mean? So I think that's what it matters to me. That's the part that matters to me. I hope that she genuinely cares about seeing these people free and that she cares about the injustices and not just like, hey, I'm doing this for clout, but positive clout. You feel what I'm saying? And I think that's where it stems from.
I do think that she's genuine about it, but I do think her having kids helped her be genuine about it.
Exactly.
And
especially children with a black man.
And being with a black man,
I
think she's starting to see like life is not Beverly Hills or Calabasas.
Exactly.
Like they grew up with money. So I think them liking black people, black culture, and I think Kanye is slowly showing her like this is what it's like.
Yeah.
Like even like I watched their show. I'm a Kardashians fan. Like I love them. Their empire and what they built. Like
culture vultures.
Like okay, yeah, they are that. But
it's okay,
girl. When Kanye took her back to Chicago, showed like the house that he grew up in. I feel like she was more like just open and aware. Like if you don't know, where your husband's people come from or what black people deal with on a day to day, and then I think she gets the notoriety or the hand claps because she is the more famous person. We know that it takes a team of lawyers to get people, off or everybody don't know that. Everybody doesn't know that? It takes more than one person saying, oh, this person's in it. It's a whole team behind her and it's a whole team working with the judges and the different lawyers and the jails and all that. So I feel like, yes, she should highlight more of the people that work with her and for her, and she has been doing that on her show, but I think I've only seen 2 brown women of color on the show, and it's like other white women that are, with her in DC or with her, at her law office, but I think she genuinely cares. I do.
Yeah, I think she cares.
I think she cares.
I like Kim.
Y'all are just
I do like Kim.
Positive about these goddamn Kardashians, and I
do like Kim.
All the problems with them, but that's.
You didn't know that. Kris Jenner is badass. Like,
she is the pimp of the century.
Okay, that's what I mean.
Like,
she's badass.
With a black man.
She said, listen, she earned her black man.
She's not. It's boring. Corey. Shout out to Corey.
Shout out to Corey.
you
Corey
a
been
good
playing
man,
his
brother.
position
For a long
Listen.
time.
Corey kind of
Comfortable.
got out of place talking about if that was my child, I would have
He
whooped
beat
him.
No.
Whoop his ass.
Or boy was finna go. What do you mean? That is a 5-year-old girl.
She would have got hit.
Corey, stay out of it. Corey, you finna get your ass out.
Get replaced.
Look, them kids go around and do whatever they want.
Exactly.
I think, and I
exactly.
understood where Corey was coming from. I don't think he came from a bad place, but
No,
Corey was
he
talking
was
about from.
Black lingo. He
Exactly.
is that
Corey
lingo.
forgot where he was at.
Correct.
That's how
Correct.
Corey forgot where he
Yeah.
was at. There's two
Yeah.
different people. They don't come from that, you know what I mean,
No.
environment. So
Yeah.
that's why Scott was like,
What?
"What the hell do you
Yeah.
mean?" But Scott, bro,
And then
they
Scott
out
was
here wilding out.
Right.
You take him out.
Right.
They over here scratching teachers' eyes out. And
Yeah.
you not-
Of course, I'm like,
Something
get
need to be
your son
done.
Yeah.
Scott little ass. Scott, try to understand, brother.
Right.
Corey's coming from a place where he wants your kids to be
Right.
well
Able to
behaved.
survive.
Well behaved,
Right.
able to survive.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Miss America thing, Miss Universe, Miss Team. How y'all feel about that? They all
I'm here
black
for
women,
I think it's about damn time.
right?
I think also what black people have to say with the black community is like how we conceptualize beauty. So now that, I mean, not to say like because all these women are black that like we don't see I guess we don't see like beauty in black women, but I think it just forces us to sit with like how do we think about beauty and like do we is the way we think about it constructed because white people say something you know a person is beautiful.
I agree with that.
So I think like it was
time.
about fucking time. It's
Yeah,
about
that's
fucking
just
time.
I don't really have too much of an opinion on it, but it is good to see that. You know what I mean? I can appreciate it. Like when the news came to me, I felt like more people was like, yo, it felt like Obama being elected again. You know what I mean? So, but to me it wasn't nothing, but I think it matters a lot to black women because they understand the injustices like when it comes to things like that and how they try to whitewash it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it is important. I think black men need to pay more attention to it and things that are close to that, you know what I mean? Because a lot of y'all, man, like I feel like y'all do go through a lot. You know what I mean? Y'all do go through a lot, and we just take it for granted. You know, men, America, women, other women of different races take it for granted.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. I think it's good for other cultures to see it. I can tell you from personal experience. So I was raised by a single father. My mom pretty much didn't want to have anything to do with me because I was black.
Wow.
And it's because the Korean culture didn't see black people as great.
Wow.
So I think it's good that they're able to see black excellence, whether it's in beauty pageants, whether it's in whatever, billionaires, whatever else is going on. I think it's good that that representation is there so that they can now change their perspective on things.
Yeah, I mean, like, as black people, we've been seeing that we're beautiful.
Yeah.
We grew up knowing that we're beautiful. I think the world is just now catching on to,
Right.
oh, well, yeah, beauty can look like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like in some, playing devil's advocate, in some weird way, it's like, okay, let's pacify them.
Right.
Let's
I was gonna
pacify
ask like
the
what-
girls of color. Okay,
Right.
here, y'all can have these
Yeah.
titles.
Yeah.
Like, that's how, because I'm like, it's Miss USA, Miss World, Miss
That's not no
Universe.
coincidence.
I'm like,
It's
Just-
not a coincidence.
it makes you like,
Right.
Wait,
Something's
what?
up.
Let me-
Something's
yeah.
up.
So I think it's a way of pacifying. But I feel like us as black women, since we have
We know
ebony essence, we know we fly.
Facts.
Right.
And everybody else bites off of
Right.
our flyness.
But
Exactly. Our
You
bodies
know that.
change.
I'm not
Our
gonna say
skin
all of y'all.
complexion,
I
our
feel like
hair.
there are some black women that still, you know, like have that low self-esteem about themselves.
Well, yeah, but
because-
that's with any
Definitely.
culture, though.
Yeah.
It's white girls,
yeah,
Hispanic girls, Asian girls.
Right.
They like, you may not like everything about your body, but I feel like black women, like, it's ghetto or low rent
Right.
until proven
Otherwise.
fashionable.
That it can be,
Right.
I see
be
what
done by
you're
It's like the
Right.
long nails.
Right.
Black girls,
Look at the
Black girls been doing long
Long
nails.
now
Right.
hip
long
injections,
time.
blood
Right.
injections.
Right.
You want your lips filled.
that shit crazy.
We've been had
Been
that. Like our
there.
aunties, our grandmothers look like that.
That shit
Like,
crazy.
and now, now you know, an hourglass figure is fashionable. So now it doesn't look ghetto.
You guys are the ideal women.
Sip your tea, Stan. Sip your tea.
But still, congratulations to all those black women.
Shout out to
across
them,
the
man.
world.
I feel like that was important,
Yeah.
incorporating this into this episode because, like I said, I'm catering to y'all. Of course, I'm gonna do an episode for the fellas. We're gonna get a little
You
bit
don't need
more.
an episode for them, sorry.
I feel like it's very important.
Can
They
we
got enough of them already.
Can we come just
Right.
Y'all
We just
always
wanna
want to
see.
be
Yeah,
in the
can we
mix.
just-
Yeah,
we just want to hear the tea.
Because y'all gonna be lying and we're
Right.
gonna be back there
You
behind
know
the
what?
camera like,
You lying.
You know that's not right.
Right. You know what I want to do before I close this episode out? I want you guys to give like some advice. You know, earlier we were talking about dating. We were talking about relationships as far as like what matters the most. We were talking about like that first date, which matters the most. You know, in what setting would y'all prefer on the first date? Like, what constitutes as, okay, he's really into me after the first date? Like, is he texting me at a certain time? And, you know, what is he saying?
it doesn't matter if he's into me or texting me. That don't matter. It's about us. That's what it comes back to.
She's showing
No,
my
for real.
camera.
I'm so
Hold
serious.
on, 'cause
It
y'all not
doesn't
being
matter.
real
It
now.
matters if the woman is into you.
That's
That's what it matters. That's the because men like to think that they run it, but the women really run it.
I think, say that louder for the folks in the back.
For real, like
They can't
men
hear
like to
you.
think that,
Because-
but your household, if your woman's not into you, your household's not gonna
It's a
last.
fucking
It's
mess.
not. It's gonna be a mess.
But
You're gonna be mad.
Based off the first date, it's a vibe. You know,
Agreed.
It's a vibe.
How long does a
It's
vibe
a
last,
vibe.
I'm still in my vibe.
Okay.
Okay.
How long has that been?
But what
Right.
I'm
Over
saying,
5 years. Yes.
And it's just a vibe
No, it's not just a vibe
anymore,
It's,
but it's
the
a
vibe is
vibe.
still there.
yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
you still have that spark. But my thing
You
is
know
like,
it,
how do
Eric.
you? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Y'all like, it's like water, like with between y'all, everything flows. Like I love the relationship that y'all have, but how do you keep it up for 5 years?
Well, I will say we set the standard from first date, what it was going to be.
exactly.
Like.
Which is
So
important.
I think what I appreciated about Eric was that he was real with me. We were in college, like freshmen. Who got money like that? So he was real. Like, I ain't got it like that. So we're going to chill. We're going to cook. We're going to drink this bottle of Jack. We're going to watch a bootleg movie. Like, it was very real. And that was the first time any guy was real with me. They weren't trying to flex. So, like, all the flexers, like, I'm expecting you to keep that up. And when you can't, it's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, what you doing?
Damn.
So with him, it was
so profound.
right.
This is very real.
Yeah, it's true.
And we've consistently done that and are just bond connected because we were together on some real stuff.
Let me tell you this, but you know, we have this thing in the back of our head that says like we need to come off as we have it all together.
Don't.
But no, but the
Please
thing
don't.
about it is like for the women that we want. You know what I mean? For the women that we think, because a lot of times we think y'all have it all together. And
If
like,
we don't,
if we don't have that conversation with y'all, we won't know. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of us like to come off, hey,
Y'all
bro.
don't communicate very well.
No.
At all.
But it's not our fault. It's because the way we came up.
Yeah,
a lot of
I
times,
know. Yeah.
we talked about this like in
Yeah.
past episodes. A lot of times we go up, we cry when we kids, and our father be like, "Man up, what you crying for? Don't act like a girl. Don't act like," you know what I mean. So it starts there.
Yeah.
So what we want y'all to do is empathize and be able to learn and help nurture us.
Now.
One thing y'all said, I did.
No, y'all should do your own work while we're doing our own
Because
work.
when you do
I
We
hate
are about
that.
to teach y'all, unpack y'all whole
Yeah.
lives.
So no. This is why I'm about to drop the bomb on y'all.
Sis.
So when we have it all together and y'all don't, we still there for y'all though. A lot of time, I'm lying. A lot of times in a relationship, a woman be like, "Well, shit, I ain't got no money. You spending on it?" Like we could easily be like, "Oh, so you ain't got no money? You don't have this in place. You don't have your bachelor's."
Can we go a little bit deeper than money though? Because I feel
Besides, okay, so there'd be so in a situation where if a man has a bachelor's, has a place of his own, has his money, has a career, we will mess with the woman that doesn't have it all.
Well, that's on that particular man. Your woman is supposed to match you or be above you, in my opinion.
And I feel like a man of that stature doesn't usually go for a woman that doesn't have it all together. But what I'm saying is, why is it a thing like, okay, we can teach y'all, we will help y'all on y'all journey, but if it's y'all, I can't teach a man I'm like, damn, like, you know what I mean?
It has to, you can't, like, I think too, we make a lot of blanket statements, right? So both parties have to be willing and open to learn. We can start there.
Nice. Okay.
Because there are people that are like, stuck in their ways, and their ways happen to be manipulative.
Facts.
And they're in it to gain something. They're in it to like, take everything that the other person has. It has to be like an equal share of like, I pour into you and you pour into me. So if one person is lacking, the other person is strong. But there has to be communication there. And if at a certain time, like, when is enough? Like, that's my thing. Like, if I'm telling you that you need to do this, I'm telling you need to do that. If you love and respect me and care about me, then why are you not doing these things? You're not listening or you don't care. So at that point in time, when is enough? Like, when you, as a woman, like, God damn it, I'm tired of talking to you about this.
You made a good point. You made a great point. But I think it just comes from a place where they might have never dealt with a woman that has those expectations. Not only that, but they might have never been in the environment where in their household their mother didn't expect anything from their father. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I said, like, it's important, and you don't know the lengths that a man will go to. If you be like, hey babe, if you're in that nurturing mode, like where you be like, babe, this is what I really want. If you really want to be with me and it matters to you, I want you to do this. You see what I'm saying? If you don't get it the first time, this thing ain't getting it. Like, I'm finna leave his ass. Like, second time, bro, I ain't gonna say it no more time. This is my last time saying it. I'm gonna leave your ass. You know what I mean? So just be patient, but as long as he's willing to try. You feel what I'm saying?
But you have to also see that you have to see the progress, though.
Right.
Like, yes, you can say like you're trying, but if I don't see the actions. It's different if you're trying and it's still kind of like, okay, cool. But if like I'm telling you this and you're not even trying to get to that in any way,
then that's a whole different thing.
You're not even trying. You're not trying to grow. You're not trying to grow in this relationship. Right. So why am I wasting my time?
Wasting my time. Hello.
She said.
Hello. And then I think sometimes men don't comprehend exactly what the woman is trying to say.
Don't nobody comprehend what y'all trying to say.
What do you mean?
No. Yes. I think that's what it is. We just don't listen.
I can tell you A, B, C, and you listen to
B. You only heard B.
Right? Well, I ain't never.
Goddamn B, and I ain't say B. Yes, D.
Y'all be like A, B, C, D. Babe, what you say about
what?
Z? Y'all be like, babe, what you say about Z?
And we take our time with the information. So for you not to receive it, it's like, what was I just talking
like
to you about?
You text the whole paragraph, the nigga responds to the last
one sentence.
You know what it is? I think y'all expect what y'all can bring to the table. Like, women is black or white. You know what I mean? Like, hey, bro, like, if this is what expected from, because in school y'all always showed up. Y'all always met with the expectation of the teacher. Men, bro, maybe if I get a 70 or 80, bro, I'll be okay. You feel what I'm saying? Men
I think that comes from society, though.
Exactly.
Like,
we don't push y'all to be like
amazing.
Like,
women have to be amazing.
Right.
Yeah, it's like okay.
I need you to get an A.
The first time, we ain't doing no makeup test. I need an A first time. Okay.
And we love that about you. But what I'm saying is, if you have a man that's willing to try, that's willing to show you something, if you see a little progress, champion them on. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I understand.
Why don't we get that same thing? If you see a little progress out of me, y'all don't be like, yes.
Yeah, we do.
I feel like there's some things that you just should do as an adult that you should not get a cookie for.
Right.
So okay, so give me an example.
The basics. You're paying your bills on time.
Okay.
You're responsible and you show up on time.
Okay. Punctual. Oh, so y'all punctual.
Very important. If you late,
y'all punctual.
Very important.
Y'all punctual.
And then
I was.
No, I genuinely feel. When it's time to go to the.
I'm sorry, that was funny.
I definitely was late to my own damn show. I was trying to get pizza.
Trying to get pizza.
And then keeping your word.
I wonder why. So I'm supposed to come in late.
Right? She was good. She came on time. But I was definitely
and then keeping your word. Like, sometimes
keeping your word.
You all promise these grandiose things, and it's like,
y'all talking.
Listen, y'all supposed to be on the podcast.
So what? Ooh.
That's a fact. me see something.
But yeah, just keeping your word. And you don't have to promise the world. Just do it step by step.
Right.
Because what if we don't even make it to that point?
Right.
I see what you're
And
saying.
then you fill my head up with all these
Be real, like
dreams.
what
Yeah,
Liz
just
said.
be real.
I think that's one thing we need to work on, just as far as being transparent and not
Yeah.
trying to keep up with this image that we
Yeah.
want to give
Be
y'all.
yourself.
But
Yes.
it's not our fault. It's because we hear it in the music, we see it in the movies. Like, oh, every woman wants this man that's established. So it's like, damn, we got to come off as if we have it together. You know what I mean? So
But no one starts
And
at established.
I see that,
That's
but I
true.
And
also
that's
think
unrealistic.
for women too, though, we can't have that image. Because even like in my relationship, like if I'm seeing somebody on social media that has it all together and
It's a
their life is
backstory.
perfect, I'm like, so why don't me and Eric have
Yeah,
it? Even though we don't have problems,
yeah,
like we have a really great
More like
relationship.
it, yeah,
It's like, why aren't we like that? Why aren't we in their position?
yeah.
And it's kind of, I don't know.
I see what you're
You just can't.
You can't compare.
You
Yeah,
can't compare
you
relationships. You can't.
Yeah.
But you
And
know
what
Comparing
works
to
for
all
that.
one
No,
couple
but-
may not work for
Right,
another
right,
couple.
exactly.
Like if
Women do that, though.
some women will be like, if
They
her
need to
dude
grow
came to
up.
her and said, "Hey, I only got $50 until next week."
Facts.
Okay, babe, I'll get dinner tonight. And then some woman would be like,
Oh.
"Oh, well then I don't know."
Right.
So
Let me go get
yeah. So that's
Find
what
somebody who
can.
So, and like you say, I do think it takes that back and forth. Like, we can't always depend on the men for every little thing. It's
Yeah.
we have to
y'all have been
be a
conditioned-
partnership.
Y'all have been
It's
conditioned.
a
I'm not gonna say,
partnership.
you know
and
what?
it does
I'm
I'm not
take
gonna say
communication.
all women, but
Yes.
a lot of
You
women
see how
have
we
been
what you saying.
exactly. I peeped your eyes at that. I kind of did like this, and I was let me get my shit together. But I know that a lot of women have been conditioned to think that my man's supposed to take care of everything,
No.
and me, I need to take care of the small things as far as being able to be behind his back when he need me, da 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 da. And if he's not taking care of everything, then why is he in my life? Why do I need you?
I
What's
don't
your
think that's
significance?
fair to you all.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Yeah.
you're a full grown adult,
That's what
and
I'm
this
saying.
man is too.
That's what
I
I'm
can
saying.
pay for dinner sometimes.
Yeah.
Sure, baby, you want some new shoes? I can do
got
that
you.
sometimes.
Right.
Now, if I'm taking care of you as a child,
Like
then
I'm
that's
your mom.
different. Then that's
Yes.
different. But
This
to,
is just for my closing statement. Just the thing that bothered me, it was like I can't teach a man. Y'all are the most nurturing people on this earth.
But
You
like
have
Jay
past
was
a
saying,
certain
there are
age, I'm not
certain
about to teach
things
you.
that you should know.
It's just certain things that we
Yes.
should know, but
Yes.
at the same time, is what I'm saying is if you see the guy don't know, see if he's willing to learn. Try at least. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
if he's on something like, babe, this is who I am. I ain't finna change. Then go about your business and leave. But just another thing, and you guys like, you know what I mean? You're in a relationship. You're in a relationship. But just one thing I want to say is, there's certain things that you guys do that set y'all apart. And I feel like a lot of women are losing these values. Just when y'all dating, I feel like a lot of women like, well, nah, that's not my husband, so I ain't doing that. You know, we had this conversation. So what I'm saying is, I feel like a lot of women are losing this. But things when you say, you know what, babe, you know, you went on that interview the other day. You know, congratulate. You know, you did good. You know, that little encouragement goes a long way.
Yeah.
When y'all, it don't even gotta be cooking food. You know what I mean? Like I think women automatically, oh, a nigga want me to cook. That's not what it is. Sometimes just encouragement, just being there. You know, making time for us. You know, skipping out on your friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just being aware of what's going on. Because sometimes men will be going through something and y'all will not know.
Yeah.
And we'll just be like, well, babe, I finna go chill with my friends. And we'll be like, bro, for real? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we just expect y'all to know. And that's not fair to y'all.
I was gonna say, at what point do you like?
I think it's
put-
communication.
But still, sometimes
Yeah.
men don't open their mouths. Like my boyfriend, he's very quiet. So I have to deliberately sit down. Let me know what's going on in your world. Like, okay, you know, our week has been busy. Tell me what's going on with you. And if there's something that I can help with, yes.
Yeah.
And then even some weeks, he's fine. I'll even put it out on the table. Let me know if you need anything.
Straight up.
Just let me know.
That
if you
goes a
need
long
something.
way.
Just
When y'all be
a
like,
statement,
just
yeah.
even when y'all call to be like, babe, did you eat? You straight?
Yeah.
You make it
That-
home safe
You
or
know,
drive safe.
exactly.
something
Like,
that.
hey, you ain't tell me you made it
Yeah,
home yesterday, and that bugs me. I don't feel
Yeah.
that. You see what I'm saying? That's when like, yo, damn, she really concerned.
Or
Yeah.
even Eric's probably gonna hate this, but like a recent thing that we've had it's just a simple thank you.
Goes a long
Yeah, thank
way.
you.
That go a long way, bro.
Yeah.
Because we'll just hold on to that and just keep on letting that shit build to like, hey, bro, like you don't even
say thank you.
And y'all be like, it's only McDonald's. Y'all be like, what are you really mad about? Y'all be laughing at our face, be like, bro, now I'm pissed, bro. You take it as a joke. But that's just what I meant. Just those little things go a long way.
Yeah.
And I just want women to be more conscious and just more aware of what's going on. Like if you see a man acting different, there's obviously a deeper issue there. And there needs to be conversation. Just bring it out of him, you know. Eventually he'll be like, well, babe, this what's going on. You know what I mean? So and it's just not directed toward y'all, but it's women out there that just totally oblivious. You know what I mean?
But I think in that regard, you shouldn't really be checking for nobody.
Why would we? But we don't always. Y'all be like, y'all need to get y'all life together before you go on with somebody else's life. But sometimes, like, we need an anchor. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, and it's so sad that that's the reason. Because we need to like get our stuff together before. But a lot of times, women don't get it together. Men don't get it together.
Like, God damn! I just talked about how 65,000 black women that go missing.
Right.
Like we disposable.
Right.
And then we had this conversation about like all these nurturing things that black women do. It's like it's a contradiction there. Black, I done seen some of the most disgusting things come from black men about black women. It makes my stomach turn. So every time I hear that, I be like, write that down on a sheet of paper or give it to your mom.
Give it to your mom.
And I posted it on the internet. Somebody made a comment to me and was like, you can't possibly think that all black women, or all black women deserve to be treated as queens. I said, hold on 1 second. I said, you come from a black woman, your mama black, your sister black, your auntie black, your grandmama black, and you fixed your mouth to tell me that every black woman doesn't deserve to be. First off, she's a human. So if you think that she doesn't need to be treated as human, you ain't say shit at all. Don't say shit to her. Don't say anything to her. If you have anything nice to say, don't say nothing at all. We can start there. But I just see so often that like black women are expected to just be like unloaded on all the time, and then we come back and be like, oh well, black women are angry and they're this and they're that, and it's probably gonna be some folks that's like, oh, that's an angry black girl right there. I'm not angry. I'm pointing out that we say so much contradictory shit about black women, like what we should be doing, how we should behave, and we don't get appreciated for it. And it's like the conversation keeps going, and it's like no. It's like no solution, and it gets irritating. We could talk about black moms. I think that black moms are the most undervalued resource that we have, and we piss on them all the time. And then we end up becoming black moms, and we move in this circle. And like, when is it? My thing, like, I think this is. I would say I learned this year. Like, when is enough enough? Like, when is enough? Like, when can we start being like, no, get your shit. I'm not about to be here to anchor you. Now, what you gonna do? You still gonna be talking wild shit about black women?
Lessons of 2019. Saying no.
Yeah. So like, so what happens when we say no? If we say no, then like, oh, we bitter and black and just like all that. No. Like when are people gonna pour back into us?
Pour into you.
Right.
No to you.
Exactly. So like that's
because you're taking my energy.
And what am I doing?
And
they don't know how to react to that too.
So
and I can definitely say that I'm guilty of that. I feel like when y'all finally like take that step and be like, no, or I'm not gonna be for you. I'm not gonna be there for you in that way because it's taken away from me. Yeah. I feel like a lot of men just don't know how to react.
The whole world shattered.
You know what I mean? You're not holding me down.
Right. Now I'm all kind of black bitches and this like enough.
It's frustrating because y'all always are there. So that in that moment where y'all be like,
there. But lessons of 202019, we can't always be there because we have to be there for ourselves.
I see what you're saying there.
And I've been called mean.
Right.
She's mean.
So mean.
Right.
I'm not mean. I just have other things going on, and your priority or your emergency is not mine.
It's not mine. It's not my problem.
Because
you'll be okay.
It's my time.
Yeah.
I gave all my time to all of you.
Yeah. I'm very selfish right now.
But then I know that like it's like ingrained in us as black women to like take care of our community. And like that's ingrained in us. So
I gotta take care of me. I can't do. I can't if I can take care of me. There's no way I can take care of the whole community.
Right.
2020 vision on me.
Hello. Say it louder for the ones in the back.
Okay.
But damn, I'm gonna need another cup.
Listen, I was just thinking the same.
Y'all said some very profound stuff. I feel like y'all kind of enlightened me. You know, I was moving in ignorance, so when y'all was just saying a few things, I was like, Yeah, I was just killing it, hitting the head, like the nail on the head. But
So what did you learn from this episode?
Yes. Wait, can I say one more thing? I think that we have to push past, like, I think the issue is like men being financial providers. So when I'm talking about like the ways in which like men should be, I don't know, like more, I don't know, cognizant or like more, I don't know what words put there. I'm pushing past the finance part because I can finance myself. Like I have made sure that I can do that. I want more than you paying for me to get something to eat. I can pay for myself.
So what I'm saying, so I mean, in response to that, what I want you to say is, whenever you're talking to your man, you need to make that clear. There needs to be, like she said, like there wasn't established like understanding. You know what I mean? This is what I expect from you, and this is what I want you to expect from me, because this is what I'm gonna bring to the table. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people kind of worry about the wrong things on the first date.
Yeah.
What's your favorite color? Like, no, we kind of past
What's
that.
favorite color?
We 27. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you talk about like, right? Like, no, I
Or
expect.
even just like impressing people. Like, if he would have took me to Ruth Chris on my first date, it would have been like, okay, so
So
you're
we about to
taking
do
me
this all
to
the time.
a higher level.
Yeah.
Every time we go
So
somewhere.
men need to be more conscious.
You
of
need to
that.
be real with yourself.
But
You need to be your true self. He was his
True.
true self with me. He couldn't afford it. He was being his real. I'm from Warner Robins. So, and I was impressed with that because that was the first time that I felt a genuine person with me.
What we try to do is just on that first day, we try to wow y'all. Like we
But
big
wow us with honesty.
Yeah.
Right.
Be genuine. That's a
beautiful.
wow. Like if I'm wowed by truth. Like
that. That on a shirt.
wow me. I love an honest moment. Like I love an honest moment. Like when my man is like, this is what's going on with me. I'm like, okay. Like I can take that. But when you're trying to finesse and like cover something up and all that, now that makes me angry.
Yeah.
Now you get the
now you
angry
think I'm
black
stupid.
woman.
Right.
Because you weren't honest. Like
Yeah.
if you just tell me, hey, this is what's going on, or this is how I'm feeling, or this is what I'm dealing with, that's when it's like, okay, that's the genuine connection.
I feel like that's the biggest moment in a relation when a man feels comfortable enough to tell you how he feels.
Yeah.
That's very profound. If a man can come to you and be like, baby, this is what's going on, that man is like, damn, he's either in love
Or
he's
he on the
like,
way.
He's on the way.
On the way.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say I think in that moment you have to be real careful. Like if he's explaining something to y'all, you'll be like, well, yeah, babe, I'm on the phone with my homegirl. I'm gonna call you back, da da da. Or, well, damn, babe, like you need to get that together. Or be there for him in that moment, and not for y'all specifically, but for a lot of women. I feel like a lot of women just kind of like belittle that. You know what I mean?
And then I feel like men need to think more highly of themselves as when it comes to like dating women. If your woman is impressed by steak and shrimp, you may need to find another woman. You know what I mean? Like if that's like what impresses her, then
The car that she
maybe
drives, she worry about what kind of car you drive.
because cars get totaled, shoes get worn out. Like at the end of the day, if everything's taken away and you're just sitting in a room, what do y'all have?
Are you gonna get irritated with her if y'all don't have no phones?
Yeah.
Like
You
you
are
are
locked
sit in a room with
her
you
for
with
6
nothing
hours.
and
Right.
have a conversation and have the time of my life.
Right.
That's
when
what
I know,
matters.
and that's what I knew with Eric.
Yeah.
Does
And
she have
everything
the
else is just
capacity
like
to hold
the
conversation?
icing,
Damn, y'all
everything else
kind
is
of like y'all killing me right there. I'm about to be on my mushy shit. Say nah, but ladies, it's been a pleasure.
Wait, you still didn't tell me what you learned from this episode.
Oh, yeah.
I try to shy away from that.
What'd you learn? What's the biggest lesson you took away today?
From Girl Talk.
I think it was more so in appreciating what you guys bring to the table and what you guys do that goes unaccounted for. You know what I mean? And I think that's why this episode was very important to, bring and make happen. I feel like I got the right ladies in the room. I've just been enlightened too. I feel like there's a lot of things that I do that kind of like you got answered for me. And I just totally before this conversation, I'm like, yo, what's her problem? You see what I'm saying? Like, but I never took the time out to look within myself. And that's a problem that a lot of us men do. You know what I mean? We just automatically, hey, bro, she tripping. But no, she's being selfish because she needs to do that. You know what I mean? Because she can't take on her problems and your problems as well. So.
Good. Now tell your friends
I'm so proud of you. I'm so
I'm
proud.
a listener. I'm an active listener when
That
I
was
come
really
in.
active. You just said.
That's your job.
But the cameramen are men, so fellas, I still got y'all back. I still got y'all back. Just know, y'all good. But I think that's very important. We need to start paying attention to what black women bring to the table. Y'all are very nurturing. Y'all very patient. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like y'all don't try and be patient. It just, if y'all don't see the progress, y'all not finna play or bullshit around. Y'all gonna be like, hey, I'm out. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's what men need to take more account for, and just be like, okay, my girl ain't playing. Let me get on my shit. You see what I'm saying? But just what I'm asking for y'all to do is just be more patient. You know what I mean? Like, if you see a man here on the shit, okay, bruh, we need to start making a list. Yeah, like, there needs to be a timeline. There needs to be a plan. Okay, babe, this is what you need to do. Step by step by step by step until he can do it on himself. You know, put the training wheels on. Until he be like, all right, bro, like, babe, I don't need, like, I got this.
We're not mothers for a reason.
I can't. Hello?
Like, I'm not a mother for a reason right now because...
Listen,
you've got to
She said, listen.
pick your own self up sometimes. Like, I can't make the list. You try to make the list.
We can make it together. We can make it together. We can sit down and be like, okay, you know, what is it that you, I mean, at a certain age, I feel like that should already be done.
Right.
However, you know, we can revisit the list because I'm assuming you already have one. I'm going to pray and hope you have one. We can revisit, you know, tweak it a little bit.
Some people don't, though. Some people don't know anything about a vision board.
Then we don't have time.
Some people don't know anything about a vision board. Some people don't know anything about budgeting. Some people don't know anything about your credit score and how to keep up with your credit score. And, you know what I mean? So these are the things that's important. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if y'all know that, y'all need to have those conversations on the first day. Hey, okay.
So what's your credit score?
I know.
Hell no. Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
That's like before
Credit score.
third, fourth day. Like,
What credit cards you got?
What do I need to know?
Exactly what yeah, that's the thing. I think.
What's your credit
like,
score?
dudes will rock y'all to sleep. Like, what we do is let y'all talk. And
Listen,
like,
I know
I don't really want to get into it about me, but y'all do. Y'all tell me more about you. What y'all need to do is just, play the game. Be quiet. Just be like, nah, I don't really want to talk. It's more about you. And if he really got to say nothing, y'all just go about your business. But y'all need to be patient and just let him talk. Because somebody, whether it be a female or male, they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you everything that's going on with them if you let them talk. You feel what I'm saying? If you just have that conversation. That's why I don't like texting. I like getting on the phone. Sometimes y'all need to just get on the phone and play that game. Yo, some of y'all be like so very intentional.
We almost didn't make it.
Where we go?
I was not a phone talker. I wasn't a texter either.
I'm a face-to-face person.
I am too.
I like quality time.
I am too.
That's what's
I
up.
want everything. I had real social anxiety. That's something I had to get over.
That's tough. That's a battle for you. Damn, that's tough.
Lucky I'm doing this.
I know. Like me, I expect response. Like I respect responsiveness.
Yeah,
like I want somebody to text. You know what I mean? Like I was talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Like in the morning, if I text you in the morning, that means I actually care. If I wait till 6 at night in the evening,
what you doing?
Yeah, what you doing?
WYD.
What's up,
What
bro?
if I didn't even wake up?
Good afternoon.
WYD.
You doing that WYD?
Spell it out. Make
Right.
it feel a little
That'd be oh shit! You so damn shady. You so damn shady, right? And that'd be the people y'all text paragraphs too.
Read it.
Baby boy, it's not gonna work.
Let me separate paragraphs so you can breathe.
Because I only send it in separate text messages, so I need to respond to all of them. I ain't gonna do a
The
paragraph.
men that are texting y'all beginning, middle, and end, thesis statement in place.
Something.
Y'all be like, so let me take you on a dinner. I got this plan. I'm busy. Nothing. Chill. Bruh. Nothing.
I ain't gonna lie, I was the okay.
I was the okay person.
LOL. Good for LOL.
Okay.
I'm good.
No.
Thank you.
I thought it was messed up when they did that thumbs up
Right.
heart thing. I'd be like, great.
That's not a response.
Right. Well, when you can like double tap the message.
Y'all bold as hell. And then y'all have put it on red. And then 2 hours later, sorry, I was busy. Listen,
know
baby
you see
girl,
your
keep up, baby girl.
It's 2019. We all got our phones on this.
Listen, my bad. I'm getting on Sunday, but
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank
listen,
you.
it was a
Yes,
pleasure. I'm gonna get y'all back on. What I'm
We
gonna do
have
is
to do a part 2.
I'm gonna do
Listen.
an episode for the fellas,
You gotta let
and
me
then
know.
we're gonna have the fellas and the women in one room.
Oh, great.
And then we're gonna talk about the issues. You feel me? So that's something that y'all can look forward to. So I mean, shout out to y'all, man, for coming out. I appreciate y'all so much. The Millennial Club wouldn't be a thing without y'all. What I want to say is, fellas, y'all time coming up, man. We're gonna get into the little details. A lot of things they do. We're gonna get into that, but
We're gonna be right there too.
Right there in the background.
In the background.
I don't know.
We're gonna be right
We
there.
gonna, it's like nah, but till next time on the Millennial Club. Thanks, y'all.